Claire Matthews nervously smoothed her floral skirt as she walked into the elegant restaurant. At 32, she hadn't been on a date in 3 years, not since her husband died, leaving her to raise their twin daughters alone. Her sister had finally convinced her to try, setting her up with a really nice guy who understands what it's like to be a single parent. She spotted him immediately. He sat at a corner table, wearing a navy blue polo shirt, handsome, with dark hair and a kind face. But what made Claire stop in her tracks were the 2 little girls sitting with him, identical twins with curly brown hair, maybe 4 or 5 years old. Claire approached hesitantly. "Excuse me, are you Owen?" The man looked up and smiled. "Yes, you must be Claire. Please, sit down." Claire glanced at the girls, then back at Owen. She sat down slowly. "I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting the girls." Owen's smile was gentle. "I should have warned you. I'm Owen Hartley. These are my daughters, Emma and Lily." "Hi," both girls said in unison, then giggled. Claire felt her carefully constructed composure crumbling. She leaned forward and whispered, "Why did you bring your kids here? To a date?" Owen's expression remained calm. "Because my babysitter canceled at the last minute. And I've canceled on 3 dates in the past 2 months for the same reason. I figured if you're the right person, you'd understand. If you're not, we'd find out quickly. That's very direct. I'm a single father. I don't have time for games or pretense. These 2 are my life. Anyone who can't handle that isn't right for me anyway." Claire stared at him, then at the girls who were coloring on paper menus the restaurant had provided. "Your sister didn't tell me you were bringing your daughters." She didn't know. "Like I said, babysitter canceled an hour ago." Owen tilted his head. "If you want to leave, I completely understand. No hard feelings." Claire was quiet for a moment. Then she did something that surprised even herself. She laughed. Not a polite laugh, but a real one. "What's funny?" Owen asked. Claire reached into her purse and pulled out her phone. She showed Owen her text thread with her sister. "I was about to text my sister to say the date was off because I felt guilty leaving my daughters at home. My babysitter is my neighbor, and I could tell she had plans tonight, but was too nice to say no." Owen's eyes widened. "You have daughters. Twin girls. Also 4 years old." Claire smiled. "They're at home with Mrs. Henderson from next door, probably wearing her out completely." Owen started laughing too. "So we're both terrible at this dating thing. Spectacularly terrible." Emma tugged on Owen's sleeve. "Daddy, is she nice?" "I think so. What do you think?" Emma studied Claire with a serious intensity only a 4-year-old can muster. "She has a pretty smile." "Thank you, sweetie," Claire said. "You know what? My daughters are only a 10-minute drive from here. What if I call Mrs. Henderson and we turn this into a play date instead? The girls could meet, and we could actually talk without worrying about babysitters." Owen looked surprised. "You'd be okay with that? I'm already here with your daughters. Might as well commit to the chaos." 30 minutes later, they were all at Claire's modest apartment. Mrs. Henderson looked relieved when Claire arrived early, and soon 4 little girls were playing together in the living room while Owen and Claire sat in the kitchen. "So," Owen said, "this is possibly the strangest first date I've ever been on, Sping, but also possibly the most honest. Tell me about your daughters." Claire smiled. "Sophie and Grace. They're energetic, loving, and they keep me running constantly. After my husband died, they became my whole world. I'm sorry for your loss." "Thank you. It's been 3 years. We're managing. What about you? Your sister mentioned you're a single father, but didn't give details." "My wife left when the girls were 6 months old. She decided motherhood wasn't for her, signed away her rights, and moved across the country. I haven't heard from her in years." "That must have been incredibly hard." "It was, but like you, I focused on the girls. Built my business around their schedule, hired good help, learned to braid hair through many terrible YouTube tutorials. Claire laughed. The braiding struggle is real. They talked for hours while the girls played. Owen told her about his tech company, about the challenges of business meetings and bedtime stories, about the guilt of never feeling like he was doing enough in either role. Claire shared her own struggles working as a freelance graphic designer from home, the isolation of being a young widow, the weight of being both mother and father to her daughters. I thought I should wait longer, Claire admitted. 3 years feels too soon to some people, but I'm lonely, and I want my girls to see that life continues, that love is still possible. 3 years isn't too soon if you're ready, Owen said, and your girls are lucky to have a mother who's showing them resilience. Crash from the living room interrupted them. All 4 girls appeared in the kitchen doorway, looking guilty. We may have knocked over a lamp, Sophie said quietly. Was an accident, Emma added quickly. We were playing Princess Rescue, Lily explained. And the dragon got too close to the lamp. Grace finished out. Owen and Claire looked at each other and burst out laughing. Well, Claire said, at least they're already comfortable enough to break things together. That's a good sign. Over the following weeks, Owen and Claire dated, but always with all 4 girls included. They went to parks, museums, the zoo. They had pizza nights and movie nights. The girls became inseparable, delighted to have instant best friends who understood their twin language. This isn't how I imagined dating would work, Claire said one evening after they'd put all 4 girls to bed, 2 at her place, 2 at his, switching off every other night for sleepovers. Better or worse? Owen asked. Different, but good different. I like that we're building something with our daughters included, rather than trying to figure out how to merge our lives later. I like it too, though I'll admit I wouldn't mind an actual date. Just the 2 of us. Dinner without having to cut someone's food. Conversation without interruption. Claire smiled. Mrs. Henderson did offer to watch all 4 girls sometime. She said they're actually easier together because they entertain each other. 6 months after that chaotic first date, Owen took Claire to the same restaurant where they'd first met. This time, it was just the 2 of them. All 4 girls were with Mrs. Henderson, who'd become a beloved figure in both families. I need to tell you something, Owen said over dessert. That sounds serious. I love you. I've loved you since that first night when you saw my daughters and decided to bring yours into the chaos instead of running away. You could have left. Most people would have. I almost did, Claire admitted. For about 30 seconds, I thought this is too complicated. It's too messy. But then I thought about what you said about how if someone was right, they'd understand. And I realized I understood completely because I was living the same life. So I love you too. You make me laugh. You make me feel seen. And watching you with all 4 girls, mine and yours, makes me believe in family again. Owen reached across the table and took her hand. Claire, I know this is fast. I know we've only been dating for 6 months. But in that time, I've learned that you're patient, kind, funny, and one hell of a mother. Our daughters already love each other. They ask constantly if we're going to be a real family. What are you saying? I'm saying, let's make it official. Marry me. Let's combine our chaos and build something beautiful together. Claire felt tears in her eyes. Yes, absolutely yes. A year later, they married in a small ceremony with 4 excited flower girls who took their duties very seriously, perhaps too seriously, as they scattered petals with such enthusiasm that the aisle became a slip hazard. At the reception, Owen's sister approached Claire. I have to confess something. That first date, Owen's babysitter didn't really cancel. Claire stared at her. What? I told him to bring the girls. I figured if you were the right person, you'd understand. If not, you'd leave, and he'd know quickly. I was tired of him dating women who saw his daughters as obstacles. That's manipulative, Claire said, but she was smiling. It worked, didn't it? It did. But you know what? My babysitter didn't really have plans that night. I almost canceled because I felt guilty leaving my girls. So maybe we both got lucky. Or maybe you were both ready to find someone who understood that your kids come first. Always. Years later, when people asked Owen and Claire about their first date, they always told the truth about the awkward arrival, the whispered question about why he'd brought his kids, the decision to call in reinforcements and turn a date into a play date. People think you need to keep your kids separate from dating, Claire would say. But for us, including them from the start meant we built our relationship on honesty. There were no surprises, no wondering if the other person could handle the reality of parenting. Owen always added, plus, we figured out very quickly that we had the same priorities. Anyone who wasn't okay with our daughters being front and center in our lives wasn't someone either of us wanted to be with. Sometimes the worst first dates become the best love stories. Sometimes bringing your kids isn't a liability, but a litmus test. If this story touched your heart, please like and share it. Subscribe for more stories about finding love in unexpected ways. Leave a comment about embracing the beautiful chaos of blended families. Your stories inspire us all.